Bob McAfee.
Here.
Jim Cozy.
Here.
Roger Spencer.
Here.
Donna Allen.
Here.
Will you all please stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me, please. Gracious God, as we come to you this day to begin another session of the Carl Junction Board of Aldermen, help us to be mindful of those who paid the ultimate price for the preservation of our democracy and our freedom, and through our actions do honor to their memory. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Next is the approval of the agenda. Are there any comments or corrections to the agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda today.
Second.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Donna Allen to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. The agenda is approved. Next is the approval of the consent agenda, which is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting and approval of our disbursements. Are there any comments or corrections to the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Donna Allen, second by Roger Spencer, that we approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. The consent agenda is approved. Next is the public forum. Anyone wishing to speak to the council during public forum? Anyone? Okay, I need to read this. Please go ahead and step up to the podium. I'll read this. You got to listen to this. Because if I'm going to read it, you got to listen to it, okay? All persons wishing to speak to the mayor and board of aldermen during the public comment portion of the meeting should come forward one at a time and stand at the podium. Then state your name and address and the subject matter you wish to comment upon. All comments should be directed to the mayor in a civil manner. Comments are limited to 5 minutes unless the mayor or board of aldermen grants additional time. It is the mayor's responsibility to make certain these rules are followed and to maintain order and decorum. If you have a question, the mayor and board of aldermen may, of course, provide an immediate response. However, the mayor and board of aldermen may also provide no response or response at a later time as they deem appropriate. Your floor, sir.
This song, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Robert Edward. My address is 8842 County Road 270. And I wish to comment about the condition of the parking facilities at the post office here in Darlington. The conditions are getting pretty bad. I've lived there about 2 years now, and I haven't seen any improvement on the conditions of the parking facilities down there.
At the post office?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When we have a heavy rain, you cannot determine where the parking spots are in the parking area. They're obscured with the water. And also the handrail going up and down the steps to get into the post offices in pretty bad shape. One of it's completely broken loose at the base. And that's a hazard trying to get in and out, especially somebody like me. But it's my understanding that some lady that is elsewhere owns that property. And I've heard that she's been approached about doing some improvements there, but I've been here for 2 years and that's all I've heard. So
This is the rail going up into the post office
yeah, that handrail going up.
and the post office, you know.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's federal property. We can't do anything to it because the federal government owns that property and they don't allow us to do anything with it. Now, am I totally correct on that?
It's privately owned. It is leased to the
Okay.
post office.
Okay.
About the best we can do is just make the postmaster aware of it.
Okay, we'll do that.
I have talked to the employees there at the post office, and they said it's been addressed before. The lady that owns the property lives in Kansas City, I believe, and outside out of mine, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is kind of hazardous getting up and down the steps. And like I said, you can't see the striping on the parking areas out Thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention too. And if you can't get any satisfaction, maybe you can call one of the senator's offices and shake them and tell them what's going on here. So they could maybe talk with somebody at the post office in DC and have something done on it. Thank you. Anybody else like to talk at public forum? Last call for public forum. Very well, then we're going to move on. Next is I wish to appoint Jeffrey Starkey as a new police officer. And I would like the council to approve my appointment. If you give a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Second. Motion by Gary Stubblefield. And second by Roger Spencer, that you approve my appointment of Jeffrey Starkey as new police officer. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. Yes, Liana?
And I completely agree and trust your appointment, but can we get some information on Mr. Starkey, where he came from?
He's here, isn't he?
I
Come
would-
on up,
I would like to
sir.
meet him since he may answer an accidental 911 call at my house sometime. Like Stever had to tonight.
They can answer your questions, and Mary Beth will give you the oath.
I just wanted a little background on where you're coming from, and
I was born in Joplin. My wife and I moved here to CJ back in 2018. I was working for the Jasper Bucks. When I moved here, I worked for Delaware PD, moved to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, and then earlier this year, I moved over to Baxter Springs. I'd actually applied here first, but the spot had filled before I got my app in. So when I saw this last posting, I was called and was able to, I guess, get the spot.
well, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah,
We like having residents that are
It
police
is
officers.
nice work though.
and if you care enough to apply twice,
That's
that's some dedication right there.
And you've got kids?
2 of them, 85,
85.
both boys,
How long you been in law enforcement?
almost 6 years.
Yeah, you're still,
Super.
you're still young.
Yeah, the best time of your life's coming up. Those kids get a little older.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I just wanted to.
Any other questions for Jeff?
He lives in town on Main Street, so he's real close to about everything here. So.
Cool.
That's great.
Good. Mary Beth, you ready?
Jeffrey Starkey, do solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications of the position of a police officer as prescribed by law, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of this state affecting the cities of this class, and the ordinances of the city of Carl Junction, and faithfully demean myself in office, so help me God.
Welcome to the force and thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thanks.
we'll give it a sense.
You're later over there.
Next, we have ordinances. Thank goodness we only have 4 this week. You've been busy, Mr. Kelly?
Only such stuff.
This first one's gonna be.
First is an ordinance amending section 115.296 and 115.440, payment and salary.
And if we approve this, we put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by LaDonna Allen, second by Roger Spencer, to put this ordinance on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance amending Title I Government Code, Chapter 115, Officers and Employees, Articles 6, 8, and 9, by amending Sections 115.296 and 115.440 to change the payment of salary for the Chief of Police and City Administrator from semi-monthly to monthly, payable by warrant on the city treasury.
Discussion. Steve?
This was actually found because the way the current code is written and my contract is written are 2 different things. And so this standardizes that in our code so that they'll be the same. It also changes the police chief so that it is more along the lines of the rest of management, which Mary Beth and I and the chief will be paid on a monthly basis.
Any questions? Yes, Mr. Kelly?
This originally also changed the payment, the salary for the public works superintendent,
But we took that one out.
which was taken out in the body of the ordinance, but in the title, Article 9 is referenced. Article 9 is no longer being amended, and that ought to be stricken from the title. And I think a motion doing that would be appropriate.
Thank you. I'd like a motion to strike Article 9 from the title of this ordinance.
So said.
Second.
Motion by Mark Satterley, second by Don Allen, to strike Title 9 from the ordinance. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, we had a committee meeting on this and we recommended it be passed.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
I move we put this on second reading by title only.
As
Second.
amended.
Motion
As
by
amended.
LaDonna Allen, second by Bob Magman, to put this ordinance as amended on second reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
And ordinance amending Title I Government Code, Chapter 115, Officers and Employees, Articles 6 and 8, by amending Sections 115.296 and 115.440 to change the payment of salary for the chief of police and city administrator from semi-monthly to monthly, payable by warrant on the city treasury.
Any further discussion?
Move we put this ordinance on final passage.
Second. Motion by LaDonna Allen, second by Gary Stubblefield. We put this ordinance on final passage. It's a hand vote to go to electronic voting. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. Please vote electronically. 6 in favor with 2 absent. The ordinance passes, and this is ordinance
21-28.
2128. Thank you. Next is an ordinance amending chapter 500 by adding sections 500.105 and 500.145.
Move we put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Roger Spencer. We put this ordinance on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
And ordinance amending Title V Building Code, Chapter 500, General Provisions, Article 2, Building Permits, by adding new Section 500.105, Violations and Penalties, to provide penalties for violations of Chapters 500, and by adding new Section 500.145, Inspection Phases, to specify the inspections to be performed by the building inspector.
Discussion?
I think Steve's got something to say about it.
Yeah.
Okay. This was brought to me by the building inspector because of a severe problem that he has had this year with contractors not getting inspections as they should, as outlined in our residential and international building code. We did not have anything in our code to address violations and penalties, and so he found in actually the Duquesne Code is where he got it from. We're taking something from them this time. That laid out those penalties, and we adjusted it to make ours fit what the rest of our penalties are throughout the code book. And it also lays out those inspection phases for a couple of different permits, so that he actually has the ability to penalize these contractors that don't want to follow the rules.
By way of explanation, for almost 25 years, the city of Duquesne has copied the city of Carl Junction in its code codification provisions. But in this particular one, the city of Duquesne had a recodified version of their code done a couple of years ago. And they updated theirs in this area. We have not done ours. And this makes a lot more sense. So that's how that came about.
Good thing we're working together.
Yes, yes.
I like consistency. Any further discussion?
Code committee,
We met on this one. We feel it needs to be done.
Thank you.
I move we put this ordinance on second reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Donna Allen, second by Mark Satterley. To put this ordinance on second reading by title only, will the clerk please read the title?
And ordinance amending Title V Building Code, Chapter 500, General Provisions, Article 2, Building Permits, by adding new section 500.105 violations and penalties to provide penalties for violations of Chapter 500, and by adding new section 500.145 inspection phases to specify the inspections to be performed by the building inspector.
Any further discussion?
Move we put this ordinance on final passage.
Second. Motion by LaDonna Allen, second by Gary Stubblefield to put this ordinance on final passage. This is a hand vote to go to electronic voting. All please raise your right hand if you're voting in favor of it. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. Please vote electronically. 6 affirmative, 2 absent. The ordinance is approved, and this is ordinance number.
21-29.
Thank you. Next is an ordinance amending section 340.125, golf carts age requirement.
Move we put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by LaDonna Allen, second by Roger Spencer to put this ordinance on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri by amending Title III Traffic Code, Chapter 340, miscellaneous driving rules, Section 340.125, golf carts, operation on city streets, prohibitions, to clarify that an operator on city streets must be at least 16 years of age.
Discussion. I think we all know why this happened.
Is this not already, I mean, I understand the age, but is this not already kind of outlined by being a licensed driver?
Right.
Gotcha. So this is just another clerical thing that we're going to do to make people understand.
Originally it said you had to be 16 to do that, and so somebody said, well, if you're 17, you can't. You have to be 16 to drive a golf cart.
Let me say that
And I agree with him.
this does require people who are, or does allow people who are 17 or 77 years of age to operate these golf carts. You don't have to be just 16 and only 16, which is the reason this is being amended, because somebody chose to interpret it that way or question it that way.
Okay.
That is the only reason. Push comes to shove, this, you could not enforce this against somebody 17 or 77 years and write them a citation for not being just 16. If we had wanted just 16, the language would have been very involved to say 16 and only 16-year-olds can operate golf carts. But I guarantee you, Mark, that you are 16 years of age.
Thank you. Except,
Plus.
Any further discussion?
Move we put this ordinance on second reading by title only.
second.
Motion by Donna Allen, second by Mark Savely, put this ordinance on second reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
And ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri by amending Title III Traffic Code, Chapter 340, miscellaneous driving rules, Section 340.125, golf carts, operation on city streets, prohibitions, to clarify that an operator on city streets must be at least 16 years of age.
Any further discussion?
We met on this one also, Mr. Mayor, and we recommended we go.
Thank you.
Move we put this ordinance on final passage.
Second. Motion by Donna Allen, second by Bob McAfee to put this ordinance on final passage. This is a hand vote to go to electronic voting. Please vote. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. Please vote electronically. 6 in favor with 2 absent. The ordinance passes. And this is ordinance number.
21-30.
Thank you. Next is an ordinance approving a contract with Trek Design Group for a design for flow monitoring and zinc sampling for the wastewater treatment plant.
Move we put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Donna Allen, second by Roger Spencer to put this ordinance on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
And ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and Trek Design Group LLC to provide professional services in connection with a flow monitoring and zinc sampling project for a sum not to exceed $63,980. plus such additional sums for additional services as are agreed to by the parties, providing the terms and conditions thereof, and authorize the mayor and or city administrator to execute said agreement for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Discussion?
This is contract number 2 for the metals in our effluent. Part of the metals in our effluent, and part of it is flow monitoring. This one will put flow monitors in at 7 different locations around the city into our sewer main. That way we can hopefully better track where I&I is coming from. It will also do some zinc sampling at those locations to tie into and provide additional information to the Geosyntec contract that was approved last week. So it's twofold in that. And then Geosyntec will take all of the information, and Algier Martin will take all of the information and create a massive government document for us that we can use against the EPA and hopefully not against DNR. They've been pretty easy to work with, but in arguing with them.
Any other questions, discussion?
Make a motion, we put this on second reading, title only.
Second. Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Gary Stubblefield, to put this ordinance on second reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
And agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri, and Tech Design Group LLC to provide professional services in the connection with a flow monitoring and zinc sampling project for a sum not to exceed $63,980, plus such additional sums for additional services as are agreed to by the parties, providing the terms and conditions thereof, and authorize the mayor and or city administrator to execute said agreement for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Any further discussion?
If we put this ordinance on final passage.
Second. Motion by LaDonna Allen, second by Gary Ederly. So by Mark Satterley. I did it again. Mark, God damn you, Mark. You're part of my French. Put this on the final passage, the handbook to go to electronic voting. I believe that's where we are at. Right? All those in favor, please agree by 6. In the affirmative with 2 absent, please vote electronically. 6 in favor with 1 absent. With 2 absent, the ordinance passes. This ordinance number.
2131.
Thank you very much.
Hang
I
on.
told you not to second. Next are administration reports. Any comments, corrections, or gripes for the city administrator?
Not much new in there since it was a short week since we met.
Has the government requested funding yet? The governor?
I was gonna come around to that under old business. I can do it right now.
Well, might as well. That's part of your thing, American Rescue Plan.
There you go. MML has released this past week a link to the Office of Administration at the state, and there was several things for me to fill out and send in to them, and they are collecting all of that information from non-entitlement units, and like our budget at a certain point, we had to sign up that we weren't going to violate the Civil Rights Act of 1968, and that we agreed to the conditions of the grant. So we got all of that sent in to them, and they are actually thinking that mid-August we should start seeing money. That's what they say.
But has he requested it?
I have no idea.
Okay. LaDonna?
I will say that a representative located outside of our district made 2 calls today trying to get a hold of the governor's office to confirm when neither call was returned. So there are representatives trying to get answers.
Very good. Anything else for the city administrator? All right, moving right along. Department reports. PD. Anything for the chief? Got his report here. We have a new officer. Good. Mark, need to say anything? Okay.
We did get, in response to the dispatcher, we do have one Jasco dispatcher that said she's interested and will come over and help fill some spots for us.
Okay, good. Good.
Deal.
All righty. Let's see, how about Public Works? Jimmy's here. Ask him any kind of questions you want.
The trail between Sunnybrook and the golf course parking lot looks really nice. I think they did that today.
Been working on it the last few days.
Yeah, we walked it this afternoon, we walked up the boat, so it looks really nice, appreciate that. And also the grasses between Briarbrook Lane and Hedge. Down through there, you guys got them all cut down for us and everything.
I think
Yeah.
right a shake in there. There's a spring in there.
I know. My sump pump knows it. But thank you for that.
Anything else for Jimmy? Very good. Don't think we have a building inspector report, do we? Did we have that last meeting? Remember?
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't it in our packet last time?
I don't have it here either. I don't have it online.
Because I thought it was.
Just make it after I said that.
We'll do it next meeting. We'll do it next meeting. Very good. Next is committee reports. Budget and finance, Ladonna?
We keep spending money on zinc and unfunded mandates.
Must be valuable.
Must be. It helps you fight the flu. I don't know why they can't.
That's true.
We're trying to find out. Any other than that, no, I'm just hopefully maybe later this month, next month, we'll be able to get some funding and get some meetings scheduled. We're kind of hold off.
Okay, thank you. Anything for budget finance? Code of nuisance. Rick? Oh, he's not here. We did a bunch of that today though, didn't we?
Already went through it.
All right, very good. Human resources, Roger?
Nothing.
All righty. Public facilities and planning, Bob?
Nothing at this time.
Senior citizens, what happened to Richard?
What the heck?
You're gonna have to talk this time?
Did you work?
No, I'll spare you. Nothing to report, sir.
Very good, thank you. Anybody have any questions for any of these? I just went over committee reports? Okay. Next we'll go to unfinished business. Jim?
Nothing, sir.
Let's see. Mark?
I have nothing there.
Ladonna? I have nothing right now.
Nothing.
Roger, nothing. Gary?
I'd like to commend, I guess it would be Steve, for last time I mentioned Pinnell and MoDOT, and it looks fantastic today.
Yeah, they
So
are.
I'm assuming you made a really good call, or an effective call.
Evidently it was.
There it is.
Well, there is one thing though. We still have that speed limit sign. I think we need to put our own up.
Are you talking about the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign on?
Pinnell? Yep.
I do have one down.
I'd go ahead and put it up.
But was that on a telephone post?
Yes.
That's on its own?
It's MoDOT.
I don't care. These people are flying through the middle of town.
The only thing is.
Well, then we know who to sue if there's a wreck because they won't get their sign up.
They're aware that the sign was out. I even talked to their maintenance guy and their sign guy that sent him our ordinance, and
I didn't realize it was missing.
Oh yeah, I brought this
Well,
up. Well, you were probably working nights when I brought it up.
Probably. I was sleeping as I went through there.
I mean, really, it all of a sudden it disappeared. Well, that's just my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion. You guys do what you think is legally right. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll take
after
it
all,
off the
it's-
wall, bring it back.
They do tell us to stay off the road.
Well, I guess if they're aware of it, it's their liability. It's not gonna help somebody that has a wreck.
I know, I mean,
And we can't write a ticket through there right now.
no,
So
well, I guess you can. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
But don't we have it in our, don't we
It's in our
have
code.
in our code?
It's in our code.
Yeah.
How about you on the other one?
That's fine.
In reverse?
It's 40.
No, I'm talking about,
Oh,
where's the 30 mile an hour speed limit sign coming from?
It's back here,
It's by the schools up, by the school,
I think
all
it's
around
right
the
there.
thing there. Yes, sir, Mr. Talley.
by the drugstore.
If the speed limit is not posted, you're not gonna win.
Okay,
When you're headed east, it's back here by the pharmacy,
So it's only,
where that 30 mile an hour sign's at.
According to our code, isn't it 35?
no,
If it's, or is it 40? If it's not posted.
30. It's 30 if it's not posted.
but it's posted, but the problem is it's posted back down the road
At 40.
at 40 or 45.
Oh, so
It's at
there's no place that
Yeah,
shows the
yeah.
speed changes.
No, I mean, there used to be, but it's gone.
I will send another email to MoDOT and hopefully they react like they did to the weeds.
I certainly hope so too.
But it's 30 going back.
So it's supposed to drop 30.
Yeah, through this more,
30
because the right of way narrows in there, and so when that right of way narrows, they go to a lower speed.
Go away. Was that you, Gary?
no,
No, I mean, how come I brought that up?
oh,
Because you were talking about.
maybe they knocked it down mowing.
I'm out of order. Okay. You done, Gary?
I was
Bob?
started.
I have nothing.
Mr. Talon?
No,
Elena?
No, sir.
Mary Beth?
Yes, sir.
Crystal?
No, sir.
Steve?
No, sir.
Jimmy?
On new business?
No, this is old business.
No,
Okay. Mark? New business. Bob?
no, I have nothing.
Gary?
No, sir.
I have none. Roger?
No.
I don't think I have any either. Okay. LaDonna?
None.
Mark?
Nothing, sir.
Yep.
no, sir.
Mr. Talon?
I won't be here at
That's right. So we want to have nothing controversial at the next meeting.
That's all I have.
Darn.
Or we can pass whatever we want to.
Don't worry, I'll veto it.
Override.
That'll be at the next meeting.
I want to take a vote.
Lana? I'm very glad you voted today. Mary Beth?
Yes, sir.
Crystal?
No, sir.
New business, Steve?
One item, the Carthage Courthouse will be reopening after their remodel that they did, so everything will be open again. They are having a ribbon cutting on August 16th, which I think is a Monday, at 10 a.m. And they are invited all elected officials or non-elected employees to go to it.
They left the elevator alone, didn't they?
Yes, they left the elevator alone.
Yes. That's a great elevator. Is that it?
Yes, sir, that's it.
New business, Jimmy, you're up.
Okay. So I'm coming up there.
Uh-oh.
It's gotta be good. It's coming to the moat.
I know, well, the mayor does, Steve, number 3 well went down.
Yep.
You all know that now, right?
Mhm.
It should be up and going probably tomorrow with a new motor in it. The motor was shot. So that's gotta be taken care of. Second is, Jerry Goins. I'm gonna meet with him tomorrow on Fairway to see about the drainage.
Right.
I think on the very east end.
Yes.
Is that the most you all are worried about? Is there
Yeah.
anything else?
The other-
down from
All the
there?
way down the other way, it seems to,
Okay.
it's drained okay.
Straight with it, 'cause we
Yeah.
got one shot to do this.
Yeah.
The detention pond, I guess I had a request to mow that, the new one.
Yeah.
There by Trent.
Good.
I called Kurt Higgins and I told him that the contractor needs to get out there and clean that thing up because there's a lot of rock, and I don't want to be chucking rock at people's houses mowing that. So they're gonna be coming in, cleaning that and mowing it themselves
Okay,
for us, okay?
appreciate it.
And, the trees on, Burrow, that you asked probably like a month ago.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, well, we got them mowed today.
Yeah, they're out there, they're out cutting those down. I would go by there when
We
they're
still
done.
got some brush to pick up and stuff, but we're getting there.
That look good.
Great, thank you.
I'm re-employed, so,
Oh, my.
you know. Yeah, a lot of mowing.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't make a report, because we've had a few water leaks, but mowing's like crazy. It didn't die off like it normally does.
Yes.
Yeah, you can almost mow every week.
We're trying to just keep up with what we can do. Like I said, we worked on the, trail there. I think they got a tournament, don't they, Steve? So we'll be out there mowing the frisbee golf course tomorrow.
oh, cool.
Disc golf tournament.
I just heard your compliments on you fixing the trail today.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I drove it.
Yeah,
Oh, and there's one more thing. What? I know the mayor, Steve, told me to fix it the best he could, but the road down at Center Creek Park is really super bad. And, the flood's taking it away. If you've noticed, we had a, barbecue grill there by one of the concrete picnics. It's out there in the river now because the bank gave way. So I guess what I'm asking you is, can I gravel it? Because we got bluegrass coming up next month, and hopefully it don't flood for the rest of the year.
yeah, you're probably safe for the rest of this year.
I hope.
I'd go ahead and do it, we gotta have it.
You've got the gravel.
Then we need to,
You got to have
can we use any of the rescue money for trails? Like that?
Can we?
It's not a street.
Stormwater.
That's not really stormwater. I don't know if you can.
Cause you need to get it cemented in with something in there, right?
Mark, the only thing about cementing it is, yeah, the road would be there, but I think the flood would take the sides.
Sides of it off.
off.
Yeah,
You know, it's back. I think when they built the bridge, it's.
yeah, that's what you were
when
saying.
they started having a problem down there. You thought the railroad track would have stayed the same, but I think the water rushes through there quicker.
Well, we just have to keep patching it
But
up.
I've got to do something.
Yeah.
Either close it down or fix it.
Do you guys have any problem with fixing it?
No.
No,
Like what, a couple $1,000 to put rock on and stuff? Okay. Yeah, we need it up for bluegrass for sure.
Okay, that's all I've got.
Thank you, Jimmy. Mark, any new business?
No.
Is there any other business before the council?
the move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Don Allen. We adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much for attending.
You didn't pick
Bluegrass?
I was the board Saturday.
Oh, the fourth Saturday.
Yeah, it's in September.
I get in all.
I will be in South Carolina.
I will be in Indy next week.
Yeah.
My husband got 3 tickets to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 2 days, and he works with Inskeep.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, when you work for a car, or he works for Premier, it's pretty great. 4 free tickets for both days.
That's pretty good. I hope you have a good trip, Mr. Talley.
Thank you.
Looking forward. I'm sure you are.
I'm really, really.
Be quite nice here, September.